Here we have a binomial. And remember that the first thing you do to factor any expression is to look for the GCF. So I'm going to take a look at both of these terms, 3x squared and negative 48, and see if I have a GCF. So let's take a look at the 3 and the 48. Do we have a greatest common factor? Well, sometimes it's hard to tell. So what I would do is I would check to see if 48 is divisible by 3. So if you put 48 divided by 3 into your calculator, you'll see that the answer is 16. So yes, 3 and 48 have a GCF, and the GCF is 3. So I'm going to take a 3 out. Now, let's check to see if there's any other GCF. Well, we have an x squared here, and then we have nothing. So there is nothing else. So now that I figured out that 3 is my greatest common factor, I'm going to open up parentheses. Now, how do I get 3x squared? Well, I already have a 3, so what I need is an x squared. Now, I'm going to bring down that minus. And how do I get a 48? Well, we already figured out that 48 divided by 3 is 16. So in reverse, 3 times 16 is going to be 48. So this is what I have so far. So now I'm going to take a look at the term inside the parentheses and see if I can factor it. Well, if if you take a close look, hopefully you should recognize that this is a difference of perfect squares, or sometimes called the difference of squares, because x squared is a perfect square. In other words, what times itself is x squared? I can make that x by x, right? And then 16 is also a perfect square. What times itself is 16? 4 and 4, right? So that's what we break it up into, x and 4. So I'm going to make two parentheses, and I'm going to break up x squared into x and x. And then I'm going to break up 16 into 4 and 4. Now remember, difference of perfect squares means we put a plus and a minus because it's missing that middle term. That middle term is 0x. Right here we would have 4x, 4 times x, and right here we would have negative 4 times x, or negative 4x. And these two terms would cancel out, and that's where that 0 comes from. That's why we need the plus and the minus. That's difference of perfect squares. Okay, so we are almost done here. Just remember to drop that 3, okay? So your answer is 3 times x plus 4 times x minus 4, okay? And you're done.